Hey there! So, if you click in that video, it's because we already have much in common. Today is the first video of this channel, and I can't wait to share with you all my fertility journey, hoping that we can relate with me. I know that if you click in this video, it's most likely that we can be friends, because we already have much in common. So I'm trying to conceive for 2 years now, and in this journey I have faced chemical pregnancies, IVFs, medical appointments that were not that good and happy. So if you relate with me, let's be friends and stick around. I'm gonna tell my story, and I'm sure that I have so much to tell you. Let's start from the beginning, right? So my name is Bianca, I'm Brazilian. I'm living in Sweden, my husband and I. So we are living in Sweden 4 years now, and for the last 2 years we are trying to conceive. And you know, we always are taught that it's so easy to get pregnant, that we should be very careful. And then all of a sudden, when we try to conceive, that was August 2022, 3 months, nothing, half a year, nothing. And then we started to think something is going on. Something is going on and we need to check. And somehow now, 2 years after we started this journey, I can understand why this is happening. You know, everything that challenged us needs to teach us something. Today I just want to share this story with you, because if you click it in this video, just by knowing the title that says fertility, IVF in Sweden, is because we can relate with each other. And this journey can be so lonely sometimes. When you're trying to conceive, it seems that all the other women around you are pregnant, but you. And that is so lonely. So this video today and the purpose of this channel is for you. Do not feel lonely, because you are not alone. We are together on this. It took me 2 years to understand and overcome my own limiting beliefs. That is not a problem only of mine. That is common, that happens, but no one talks about it. Somehow, all that we see on Instagram is pregnancy announcements, and we don't know how to deal with it. We do not learn, no one teaches us how to react, how our mind should react to this. So today I'm here in this beautiful place. It's called Kullaberg. So we are in Sweden. In Sweden there is an area of Sweden that is called Skåne. So Kullaberg is just one of the edges in the north of Skåne. So it's super beautiful. We are in the sunset hour, and I choose this time to talk with you about my fertility journey in Sweden. Let's go then. So August 2022, we started trying to conceive. And I had this idea that I can control everything. Just so you know, when I go to a trip, for example, with my husband, I have an Excel that says, yeah, we should go to this place and that place because I'm afraid, that fear of missing out. I have this kind of controlling thing that I think that I can control everything. But then the fertility journey came, directly in my face to say, hey, Bianca, not here, not today. You are not controlling this. So we started August 2022, and I was so sure that everything is going to be alright because we are healthy, full of life. I was 35 by that time, so we should be okay. And then we were in a trip in Italy. And we were also actually joking, yeah, this baby would be made in Italy. So that is the level of control that I have by that time. But of course, it didn't happen in the first month. But then it's okay, it's just the first month, right? Let's see what happens. And then 2, 3, 4, nothing. And then I started to be very worried, something is going on. And I also think that it's good for me to share all this story on YouTube, because I didn't find anyone sharing how is it the fertility journey in Sweden, what does it take to have an IVF treatment, all the investigation around. So I really hope that this can help you. So what happens in Sweden? If you are 35 and above, if you are trying to conceive for more than half a year, you can already go to some investigation from the government. So to the clinics from the government, from the hospitals, they will start investigating why you are not getting pregnant. If you are 35 and under 35, you need to wait for 1 year. So 1 year without trying to conceive, you can go and have the right to be investigated, and you start IVF. I was 35 already. So from August, February, nothing, half a year, March, I started to search around. But I didn't know nothing by that time about, like that was for free actually, was my right as living in Sweden and paying my taxes here. So the first thing that I did was just to Google fertility investigation Sweden. And then I got a clinic that was a private clinic, but that was okay, that was the beginning, but I was to a private clinic before. So if I could come back by that day, I would just start by going to the right places that is from the government already. But that was all right. Like they treated us very, also the treatment from the fertility clinic that was in Lund, it was quite good as well. My husband and I had to pay about $60, I would say like 600 Swedish crowns. That is not the perfect like conversion, but just roughly here. And then in this first consultation, the doctor was just like, general interview. How old are you? Do I already have kids? Yes or no, yes or no. That first consultation was just to set the next steps. So the next step was like in the third day of my period, I should come back to the clinic to take a blood sampling and have a kind of, not an ultrasound, but that exam when they just inject something with color inside my cervix to check the tubes. So that's what I did. So that was May by that time already, because I scheduled in March, didn't have any availability until May. So May 23, I went there, third day of my period, blood sampling. The investigation with the fallopian tubes was quite alright. I'm so thankful for this. So no problems there. But because I was already at that time 36, because then I turned 36 in March, her kind of conclusions was that we should go to IVF. And that private clinic, we would have to pay around 30,000 Swedish crowns, at roughly, 3,000 euros, something a bit more in dollars, US dollars. But then we would need to pay for the treatment. But here in Sweden, the IVF treatment is for free from the government, the first 3 treatments. So what this doctor from the private clinic did, she just referred us to the government clinic. So she said that, yeah, it can take a while. I think she was trying to kind of convince us to already pay for the treatment, because then we could start already in June. But if that's our right, as living in Sweden, working here, paying our taxes, why would I pay for the treatment if that's our right? And the taxes are not that cheap in Sweden. So then what we did was we waited by that time, because she referred us to the clinic from the government. So that was in May, right? And then in July we received a letter saying that, hey, we received from this doctor in Lund a referral for IVF treatment. Welcome here in this appointment in this day. So August 2023, it was our first appointment. And I would like just, I will leave below the name of the clinic, because it's not many clinics in Sweden. So here in our area, we went to Malmö, even though we don't live in Malmö, but it's the hugest clinic. So everyone is referred to that clinic. So August we went to that clinic, our first appointment, and the doctor, he was so sweet. It was just an appointment to answer our questions regarding IVF, how we were feeling about it, just explaining how everything would go. He also made an ultrasound just to check if everything was okay, and everything was okay by that time. So we never got a kind of diagnostic. So we are having troubles to conceive because ABC. No, never. It was the infertility without any kind of cause. But that's all right. So we went to that doctor. He explained everything in the RMC. It's linked to the Malmö University, so it's quite good, like the structure. Maybe when I'm telling you guys that it's for free, you're gonna think maybe it's not a good structure at all. But no, it's everything very, top, high quality. It was perfect, like the structure, the way how it is, like the whole building, everything is really good. So then after this consultation with the doctor the same day, what happened was we had this appointment with a nurse, and she was so sweet because she was explaining everything about the injections, here how you shoot the injections, like the pressure and everything, like the order. She explained it, all the dosage and everything. My first treatment in Sweden was with GonaWF, to stimulate the ovarian production. So I used GonaWF together with Ganirelax, I'm just going to explain briefly, but do not be confused. So GonaWF is to stimulate the ovarian production. So we take that from the first day of your period. And then After the third day, you also inject yourself with Ganirilax. Ganirilax is just to avoid that you're gonna to ovulate, right? So after 1 week with injections, you need to go there and have an ultrasound check just to see like if your follicles are growing enough, how is it going? So that is the first 14 days of treatment. So we're gonna leave for you guys some recordings from our first treatment because we were recording, but that is in Portuguese because we were just planning to show our family when we had the positive. So that's why it's gonna be like without any sound, but that's just so you know, you can see how I applied the injections, how does it work, because I know that when we are not used to it, it can be so confusing, it can be scary, how I'm gonna inject myself. So no, just see these images here, you're gonna see, so every evening at 8 p.m. I was injecting myself with Gonawef and Ganirilax. Yeah, but I think I forgot to tell you, like, so the treatment started October then. So the first consultation with the doctor was on August, but then we didn't have time enough to start the treatment September. And we didn't have time because we did have to order the medication, all the injections. So the pharmacists, they didn't have the medication straight away to pick it up. So we ordered, and then it took like 2 weeks to be delivered. So that by that time was already September, so no time for September because the treatment starts first day of your period. So then what happened, we had everything in place to start treatment October. So first day of my period, we go to, like for the ones that is watching the video that lives in Sweden, you know that is the 1177 website. So we go to the website and you just send a message to the RMC clinic saying, hey, I got my period. So then what happens, they reply back saying, yeah, there is availability for you to start your treatment. So that's what we did, and we are lucky enough to have availability. So then we started the treatment October 2023. So then after 1 week with Gonawef and Ganirilax, we go back to the clinic, RMC in Malmo, for an ultrasound check, just to see if the eggs are progressing quite okay. And they were like happy with the dosage of the medication, maybe not many developing by that time, but then they were just asking us to come back 3 days later to have it checked again. We came back home and continued doing the injections every evening, 8 p.m. 3 days later, we went back there, checked with the ultrasound, and they were also happy with what they saw. So after this second ultrasound, I had like enough eggs growing, like around 14 millimeters, which is already a good size. We really want something around 20, 22 millimeters for the egg retrieval. But then usually an egg grows 2 millimeters per day. So I still had time from 14, 16 millimeters to achieve the 22 millimeters. So then that was okay. So after the second ultrasound, we left the clinic already with a date for the egg retrieval. So then egg retrieval day, how it goes is like it's a surgery. You do not need to be very worried. It's a surgery as it is. There is local anesthesia, like the painkillers that they gave you, they are the strong ones, but that is needed. At some point I was considering asking them that I didn't want anesthesia, I didn't want, the very strong painkillers, but then it is a surgery. So you need to think on all the pain that it can have for you. So that's not good. So yeah, I went to egg retrieval, full treatment, local anesthesia, the painkillers and everything. And my husband and I, we just felt so lucky and, surrounded by love that day because all the nurses, they were incredible. When we are living abroad, apart from your family, we don't have many friends here neither. And then the way how they treated us was just amazing. I remember that when we entered the room for the egg retrieval, there were 4, 5, 6 nurses just for us, plus a doctor. And they were so sweet. The nurse that was in that side, like my husband was in one side, and the other nurse, she is a nurse that was dealing with the anesthesia. And she was holding my hand, just very careful and, demonstrating a lot of compassion, I would say. So it was really good. So during the egg retrieval, you can see, even though I was not myself, I think I was a bit dizzy with all the medication, I still could see all the eggs and they were counting. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, like, oh my God, thanks. I'm so grateful that I got all those eggs. So when it ends, maybe it was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes maximum. So we go to our room and then I need to be laying down for a little while. They also provide food by that time. I ate the food that was there, and then I got 15 eggs, which is a really great number. So remember, I was 36 years old by that time, and I got 15 eggs. So what happens that day is that my husband also provided a sample, and then our treatment was a standard IVF, meaning that it's not ICSI. ICSI is an abbreviation for that huge name that I'm going to give you just below here. And what it means is that, like, you know, that's very popular image for in vitro fertilization that they have, like, you know, the swimmers just going into the egg. So that was not what happened to us. Like, we have two different kinds of treatment for IVF. This, the ICSI, and the standard. So the standard is more the natural way where they just, you know, leave for nature to decide. So the swimmers will decide which eggs is more compatible to them. And then that's what happened to us. So from the 15 eggs, 9 eggs got fertilized, and then they keep up, they were just updating us by message. So we got updates one day after the egg retrieval saying that 9 eggs were fertilized. Okay, from 15, 9 got fertilized. And then the day after we got the news that only 5 grow to form what was like seems to be a blastocyst, because blastocyst is just the day 5. So then we got those 5, and then we already knew the day that we would come back for the embryo transfer. That is like 5 days after the egg retrieval. Like, I think just coming back a little bit and saying that after the surgery, the egg retrieval, that day I was just, you know, laying down, very chilly, and I think that everyone should do it if you can. Do not work that day, because it is a lot for your body. You need to just rest, let your recovery be 100%. But the other day after the egg retrieval, I was already working, but I think I would do something different today. Like, I think I would not work. I would just, you know, having some my meditations and do something that I like it, because it was a huge step, something so strong for the body. But then anyway, 5 days after the egg retrieval, we came back. It was embryo transfer time. We were so excited. We just bought some chocolates and a little letter for all the nurses, because we were so happy to have them so thoughtful and caring with us. We were super excited, and it lasted, 2 minutes? That's it. It was super fast. And my desire was just to be laying down, like, I don't want to move, but the doctor was like, no, like, move, you need to move. And that was it. The embryo was in, no need to rest, go home, normal life. Yeah, what is normal life for you? Normal life for me is, you know, walk around, go to the gym, have some weightlifting. So what I can do, what I can't. So it was a bit confusing for me. But then I decided not to do much. After the embryo transfer, I started, actually from the day of egg retrieval, we start with the progesterone tablets 2 times per day, in the morning, in the evening, and then it lasts until your pregnancy test. So those 2 weeks waits, that is like very emotional, and we don't know what to expect, we don't know what to do. Can I just walk normally? Can I, you know, climb a ladder? What I can do? It is very emotional, those 2 weeks waiting. But I think somehow us that we are dealing with fertility, we have this every month, don't we? But by that time was a bit different, because I knew 100% that there was an embryo there already in my womb. I wanted so badly that embryo grows and was perfect and genetically perfect. So we were praying every night that everything should be okay and fine. So it arrived the day for the pregnancy test. Here in Sweden is a normal pharmacy test. They do not have any kind of appointment for a blood sampling and then you check your HCG. No, nothing. It's just a pregnancy test from the pharmacy. It was a Saturday morning, November 4th, 2023, when we got our negative from our first IVF. That was so far the worst day of my life, because it was very hard to cope with a situation where everything seems to be perfect, right? Your eggs developed so well. Everyone was saying your lining in your uterus is kind of perfect. The embryos developed, 5 embryos, you transferred 1. The other 4 embryos did not survive frozen as well. So it was a lot of news all at once. That led to the worst day of my life. I was not prepared mentally to deal with this, not at all. I was very prepared for a positive, and you know, the other day be already searching for everything for the baby room, all the baby stuffy, and you know what am I gonna do? But I was not prepared for negative. I wasn't. And one of the reasons for this channel is that everything that I learned, that was November 2023, today is almost September 2024. In this 1 year, this journey has changed me a lot. And everything that I learned, that took me so long to learn. I don't want you to take in that long to learn. Everything that I learned, all the books, therapy, courses, you know, that control person that I was telling you at the beginning of the video that I am, that part of me bought courses, books, everything, therapy, everything that I could, because I was not prepared to deal with the situation. And I really hope that I can just share with you everything that I learned, and you can react faster, lighter, in a better way during your journey. So I think that's it from today. The sun is set so beautifully. Can we see that? Can you see that? No? They can't? But we're gonna show you. We're gonna just turn the camera maybe a bit, so then you can show how beautiful it is. Isn't it? So yeah, so sometimes life has some surprises for us and we don't know how to react to them. But everything that challenges us also teach us something. So what this journey are trying to teach you, that's the question that you need to remind yourself until you find the answer. It's not easy. No, it isn't. But the day that you find the reason, that will be so good for you, and your journey will have a purpose and a meaning. So I found mine. I'm still dealing with this. I still want my babies in my arms very much every day. But this is becoming closer and closer to happen. And we have some tools that we can use to lighten the journey. I myself, I had like several limiting beliefs that I had to deal with. I was thinking that I was not worth to be a mother, or that I didn't deserve to be a mother because I left my own mother in Brazil to come and live abroad. But I learned to overcome all these limiting beliefs, and I really, really, really hope that you can too. I have written a book regarding limiting beliefs, because learning that we can have tools to overcome the limiting beliefs and have unshakable beliefs, it's so life-changing. I would leave the link for my book in the description below, and you can just check the book on Amazon. In the book I'm sharing my story. We have like about 8 chapters with 8 different limiting beliefs that I know that haunts you, because they haunted me. And even today that I know all the tools, everything that I should do, some days I just woke up and I have some limiting beliefs holding me back. But let me tell you something, it is possible to have this journey lighter, this journey good, it can be happy, and I really hope that I can share some of my tricks and tips with you, and then your journey will be much better. Because at the end of the day, yes, we want to be a mother, but we also want to be a good wife, a good sister, a good friend, and there are tools out there to help us. And it took me so long to learn them, and I really hope that you can learn it faster than I did. So yeah, my book can already be a step number 1. But you know, like, if you related to this video, let's be friends. Click the subscribe and the bell. There will be more videos coming. We are planning some new treatments in Sweden to start quite soon. And I'm going to share everything with you, because I know that it's not a lot of people that talks about it, and I don't want you to feel lonely, okay? We are together on this, let's be friends, and I'm sure that we are going to receive good news quite soon. Our babies are closer than we think. Yeah, and then with this beautiful sunset, off we go. Thank you for watching. Until the next time. Bye! Nossa, tá muito bonita esse pôr do sol, né?